person that you have to spend the most time talking to in your life is yourself. Try not to lose that respect.
People don't know how to like themselves. I mean, people don't know how to like themselves. But it's not complicated. Just be calm. Well, Dwayne, how do I be calm? Get rid of the things that don't let you be calm. You got people in your life that are just people of constant conflict, people of melodrama, just people that are always stirring the pot. They're not happy unless the pot is stirred. Just walk away. The average man, I believe, the average real man, does not need to go get therapy for the battles and the burdens he's carried inside. What he needs is for those that he's carrying them for to recognize that they're there and to respect it and to be grateful for it. They don't need to talk it out to get rid of it. They need the one that they're going through this hell for to recognize it's there and to be grateful that the man is carrying this for them. They don't need therapy, they need gratitude. Act like, but see and picture. Listen, if you don't have a destination, how do you know when you've arrived? And how do you know how to get there if you don't know where you're going? Sit down and figure out, what kind of man do I want to be? And then begin the journey. Find somebody that you like, that you genuinely like, and figure out what it is about them you like. I like that. That's something I like. That person is, they're understanding, they're gentle, they're hardworking, they're honest, they're this. This is what I like about that. And incorporate that stuff into your own life. If that's the stuff you like, then incorporate that stuff into who you are. And then you like yourself. It's not rocket science. You know, because there are things that you like as a person that wouldn't mean anything to me. There are things that you like in another person that wouldn't mean anything to me. There's things that I like in another person just because of how I'm wired, and it wouldn't mean anything to you. All right? So that is what I like in a person. So if I work at taking on those attributes, it helps me become a person that I like. I have come to the place in my life where when I meet somebody and they don't like me, and you can tell, I don't care. And when I meet somebody that you know, they're like, they really like me, it's like, okay, but it doesn't carry much weight either, because I'm going to be leaving. And so when I meet someone who doesn't like me, or I meet someone who does like me, it doesn't alter my sale. I would buy me a drink. I look at me now and I see all the warts. Okay, I see all the negatives more than anybody else does. I see the positives. And over the whole balance of stuff, I like me. And I can give myself the same grace. If you and I were friends, I can give myself the same grace I can give you. Because I like me. I like me in spite of my understanding and the reality of my weaknesses and my warts and my scars and everything. But you know, all in all, I'm a pretty good dude. And man, you got to get to that point. Outside of arrogance. Arrogance is pride mixed with ignorance. All right, that's the definition of arrogance. I'm not talking arrogance. I'm talking about, look, as a human being, I've failed at this. I've succeeded at that. I've wrecked this, but I've built that. And all in all, you know, I've tried. And, but I like me, so I'm going to give me some grace. If you turn around and look back with open eyes at your life, you see all the scars. You know, I mean, you can't, the only way you cannot be humble in old age is when you refuse to look at the reality of your life up to today. And so I'm right now trying to find the balance in undertaking something that's not going to alter me, that I'm not going to lose myself, and then not succeeding at something because I was too afraid to try it. which has never been an issue with me before. I've never been afraid of failure before. But now I've got something I don't want to lose. And that's myself that I actually like, a me that I actually like. And so young men these days were never taught by another man how to treat a lady like a lady. And they go into a relationship, girlfriends, marriages, getting all their information from Hollywood. And it's a crash and burn because they don't understand relationships. They don't understand communication. They don't understand the balance between being a man and being a bore, being a buffoon, being a tyrant. They don't know the difference between being, can I call names on here?
Absolutely.
Okay. Andrew Tate, okay, or some little milksop over here. You got the two extremes, and they can't find that place in the middle. My problem with the feminist movement is why in the Sam Hill was something as special and wonderful as a woman want to be equal with a man. Why do you want to bring yourself down to that level? As a Christian, God gave two very special gifts to mankind. The first one was a woman, and the second was Jesus Christ. Okay, you can teach an ape to work construction. You cannot teach an ape to raise human children. I think it's degrading to women to try to be the same as a man is, okay? Treat them special. And secondly is communicate, all right? If you don't understand what they're saying, if you're confused, sit down and gently say, look, I'm sorry. I don't understand. I don't understand what you're feeling. I don't understand, but I'd love to understand if you can help me. And just sit down and communicate. Just listen to them. A lot of times they just want somebody to listen to them. They don't want you to fix it. They just want you to listen to them while they take all this boiling stuff inside their head and put it out so they can actually hear it. And sometimes that helps them sort out all these thoughts that's in their head. They need to just put it out so they can hear it. And they don't need you to demean them by saying, okay, I'll fix this. Just listen to them.
There's a quote from Timothy Leary that says, women who aspire to be equal with men lack ambition.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that, but I agree with it. I'm like, I get up and give you my seat because I think you're special, not because I think you're my equal. A guy comes in, he's 57 years old, he's physically equal to me, I'm not going to get up and give him my seat, all right? So I give you my seat not because I think you're my equal. If you're my equal, you can stand just like I do. I give you my seat because you're special.
What about the reverse? What do you wish more women knew about how men operated?
He's carrying burdens that you don't have a clue about. And he don't know how to express them. And he don't know what to do about it. And he figures if he puts it out there and communicates it, he's just going to be shot down, called a fool, called weak. So he carries it inside. And you have no clue the burdens and the hell that most men are carrying inside and not even showing you. A lot of times men won't open up. They won't respond because it's looked at as becoming vulnerable. And it's like the little Dutch boy with his finger in the dike. It's a little tiny leak. But if I allow this little tiny leak, the entire dike is going to give way. That's why we can't allow the little tiny leak. Okay? So if I'm sitting here and if I'm one of these guys and my significant other is sitting there, I can communicate to her what I need to communicate without being vulnerable. I can maintain my strength and communicate to her. Okay, I can say, look, I'm working 60 hours a week, and the environment that I'm working in is very, very difficult. And I come home and I only have 8 hours here at the house, and this is the only place of peace I have in this entire world. And when I come home, you're angry all the time. You're not satisfied about anything. You want that, whatever the situation is. If you're not going to provide for me that little bit of peace that this is the only place I can get. What are we doing? Now, you're not vulnerable. You're not getting walked on. You're not being a jerk. You're not coming in, throwing stuff down and saying this. You're just communicating the hard reality truth is. The hard reality truth is our relationship at this point has boiled down to this. Now, you have a beautiful house. You never worry about there being grocery money. You have a car. I put the fuel in your car because you let it go to empty all the time. I provide this and this and this. And what I'd like for you is some peace and some understanding. To communicate it in such a way, not to come in and whine, not to grovel, and not to tyrant, not to yell, not to pick a fight. It's like, look, I'm just communicating because I think we have a lack of understanding here. So I need you to understand this is where things are right now. And so you can communicate, but how you communicate is just as important as what you communicate. I knew a guy many years ago. He had a little dog, one of those little furry little rat dogs, And his one of his little joys in life was he'd look at that dog and he'd smile and he'd say, "Oh, you're so stupid. You're the ugliest, dumbest, most worthless dog I ever seen in my life." And that dog would just wiggle and roll over and he'd look at me and say, "It doesn't matter what you say, it's how you say it." Dog has no idea what I'm saying, but I say it in a loving tone and it's all good. There's a lot of truth to that in communicating with people. We can say things that are not necessarily blatantly offensive, but we can say it in a real belligerent, aggressive tone. And all they hear is the tone. They didn't even hear the words.
Medium is the message.
That's right. They don't even hear the words.
What have you learned about the importance of fatherhood?
All right. I believe God made man. Okay? And God created man, and God gave man the word. And the word at that time was, don't eat of the fruit of those two trees. Okay? That was a symbol. That's all the word God gave man at that time. Then God gave man a work. And the work was, he said, take care of this garden. And then God gave man a woman to help the man. Okay? That man and then the woman God gave him, that became a marriage. And then that man and wife had children. And those children had children, and then there became governments. Okay? You see where I'm going? In this country was founded as a Christian country. This is what I believe. People can do whatever. I believe that this country is only as strong as the churches. Even our founding father says America will remain great as long as America is good. When America ceases to be good, America will cease to be great. This country is only as strong as the churches in this country. The churches are only as strong as the families that make up those churches. Those families are only as strong as the marriages that those families are built on, and those marriages are only as strong and good as the man that God built the marriages on. As goes the man, so goes the marriage. As goes the marriage, so goes the family. As goes the family, so goes the churches. As goes the churches, so goes the country. Everything is built on the husband and the father. And this country is a failure today because the fathers and the husbands have failed. Failing to be the example they need to be. Failing to be the leaders they need to be. Failing to be the disciplinarians that they need to be. Failing to be the providers that they need to be. If you don't have the backbone as a husband and as a father to be the bad guy, you've got no business being a father or a husband. There's times when you have to know this is not a good direction for my marriage, for my family. And everybody's going to be mad at me. My wife is going to be mad at me. My kids are going to hate me. But in the long run, this is a very bad direction. And I'm putting my foot down, and we're not doing that. And you become the bad guy. But you do it for the long-term strength and safety of the family. And we've lost that. We've lost that.